It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
Ariel Helwani.
The Mixed Martial Arts Hour is back in your life on this Monday, September 20th, 2021. Hello again, everyone. Let us go to the Zoom machine now and say hello to the aforementioned Anthony Smith, who had the big win on Saturday. And there he is, kind enough to join us. This man was so confident that on Thursday, when I texted him, I believe it was Thursday, hey, man, just wanted to wish you luck. He writes back, see you on Monday. A few things I'm dying to know. Number one, what did you say to him immediately after the fight was over as you were standing over him?
Can we cuss on this show?
Go ahead. Cuss away, dog. This ain't ESPN. Because first, okay, and we'll get to the post-fight interview, which I could not hear. And no one heard anything. It was just like one long beep. But in that, the first one was in that moment, standing over him. What did you say?
The first thing I said, I think I just said it over and over. I said, "Where's that ass whooping you were bringing?" Because that's one of the things that he said. And then, security kind of got him. And I wasn't trying to, I was walking away from him. I wasn't trying to get in some dust up post-fight. I was walking away as I said it. I held it in pretty well all week, but I was real pissed all week long. And I just didn't want to be very honest with you, I didn't want to say anything that I was going to regret if it didn't go my way. So I saved it all for a post-fight.
Pissed about what, though?
Okay, I'll break this part of it and make I'll break this down and make a little more sense.
Okay.
Here's one experience that I go through an entire training camp. My family and myself sacrifice a lot so that I can be in the position that I'm in. I miss out on a lot of things. I carry a lot of guilt with me. And I said it in the presser. I could have been a doctor in the amount of time that I've put into this sport. I've sacrificed my entire adult life to try to be the best I can be. So I don't care if guys say they're going to, or they say or think or do kick my ass. If that's part of the game, that's just fight. That's just the fight game. I don't care if they think I suck or I could have beat that guy better or he sucks here and his striking is shit or his jiu-jitsu's bad or what. None of that stuff bothers me at all. The dismissiveness of my journey is what pisses me off because that's where I put all the work into. I don't care what he's done and I don't care where he's been and I don't care how long he's been fighting and I don't care, all the I don't care shit and the disrespect of my journey. So last night, putting my kids to bed, it's Sunday night and my 4-year-old goes into a hysterical mess and she's just yelling and screaming that she wants me to hold her. And then she starts screaming, "I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go," over and over and over and over. And I was so confused. I didn't know what she was talking about because I wasn't going anywhere.
Uh-huh.
She's used to waking up every Monday morning with me being gone. And so she's got PTSD of me leaving. So for Ryan Spann to just blatantly just blow it off and the shit that I've done and the shit that I do doesn't matter. It does matter. And it matters to a lot of people, there's a lot of people that care. And there's a lot of people, including my peers, that respect me. And that's where the anger came from me. Maybe he didn't mean it as a disrespectful comment in the way that he approached it and just completely wrote off everything I've ever done in the sport. But I was able to do that stuff because of the other sacrifices that I make. So again, maybe I made a mountain out of a molehill, but it really genuinely bothered me. So that's what I said to him as soon as the fight was over, was I bet you respect me now. I bet you care now. Where's that ass whooping you said you were bringing? Because I didn't get it.
It is currently 7:33 a.m. Tuesday morning, and Dan Hooker is still in New Zealand. He is fighting on Saturday in Las Vegas. Historically, he would already be in Las Vegas, as Alex Volkanovski is already in Las Vegas, but there he is, I believe, at home in New Zealand. Good morning to you, Dan.
Good morning, Ariel. That's a lot to take in, but I think you wrapped it up pretty well. My flight was Sunday, and the consulate got in touch with me and said, "No, we're not going to be able to process your visa till the end of this week." And I was just like, I'd done so much work to get to this point right now, so I went to social media. I turned to MMA Twitter. I turned to social media. I was on the 6 o'clock news here in New Zealand on a few different stations, and just everyone getting behind me and just bombarding the consulate. Like, people were submitting like get Dan Hooker's visa as like full application. So it was everyone's help. Then out of the blue, they said, all right, we'll give you an appointment Monday at midday. Don't miss it. I got down there, got it done. So as far as I'm concerned, this fight's away. I'll be getting out of here Thursday. So when I signed this fight, I signed it like 5 weeks ago, Sunday. And then that Tuesday, we went into like a complete lockdown here in New Zealand. And if you don't know about lockdown in New Zealand, it's not like lockdown in other places. Like everything, absolutely everything shut. The US embassy shut as well. So the consulate was shut. They weren't processing any visa applications. UFC got in touch with them and they said, all right, he can't come down to the embassy to get his visa, so you can post it in. So I filled out all the forms. I got it posted in. And yeah, I was sitting around waiting for 4 weeks to kind of get that thing returned. I had my passport for the last 4 weeks, and then for it to come to last Friday and then to say that they're not going to get it done in time was just I couldn't accept that. That's something that I just couldn't accept.
Do you think if you don't make it public, if you don't go on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff, this doesn't happen? You're not fighting on Saturday?
Without a doubt. 100%, without a doubt.
Wow.
If I didn't put the pressure on them, like no one from the embassy is going to, or the consulate is going to come out and say, yeah, all right, if you just bombard us on social media and absolutely harass us on the 6 o'clock news, that you're going to get your visa application like processed a lot faster. Like, they're obviously not going to come out and say that, but for it to come out of the blue like that, for them to have like no real back and forth discussions, and then for something like an appointment to come out of the blue, as far as I know, that's the only appointment they've granted for the last 5 or 6 weeks.
No way. Really? Wow. That's unbelievable. I saw recently that you said eventually, by the time your career is done, you will do bare knuckle. This is something that you want. Were you kidding when you said that?
There is like a fine art to bare knuckle boxing.
Oh my.
If you go watch the Irish, the Travelers do it, like they do it justice. I feel like it's like a real skill. It's probably it's definitely why, MMA fighters have a lot of success in bare knuckle boxing against boxing. Just the smaller gloves, like, changes the guard a lot. Like, it changes a lot of things. If you watch like a few of the like gypsy guys doing it, they're like 45-minute fights, 50-minute fights. Some of the most technical fights you'll ever watch. Like Joe Joyce, like some of the most technical fights you'll ever watch. That to me is like an art to it. Yeah, we'll see. It's a completely different art.
One of my favorites to watch, one of my favorites to cover, just an absolute legend. If there was an independent MMA Hall of Fame, he would be first ballot and then some. And so it was filled with a lot of emotion when I found out that Carlos Condit was going to call it a career. One of my mom's favorite fighters. And so I wanted to have him on the show to talk about that decision, his great career, and where he goes from here. So without further ado, let us go to the natural-born killer himself, the one and only Carlos Condit. Carlos, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Ariel. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Congratulations. Like I said to you privately, absolute honor to watch you and to cover you. And I don't know how in tune you are with social media. You got a lot of love over the last few days, so I think you know how people feel about you. I just want to know, first off, like, what does the last few days feel like? How has it been seeing all these people shower you with praise and gratitude?
It's been overwhelming. It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff's been going on. Like, I mean, this happened, this dropped. I've had some crazy shit going on in my personal life. It's been intense.
When did you actually make the decision that you were done? How many weeks or days after that Max Griffin fight in July?
probably just while I was packing up my stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I've been leaving. I think I've said this before. I've been leaving a hotel room after a loss and been pissed off, and leaving all my gear and in a real salty mood, and like basically I'm done with this shit. But this time was different. I wasn't salty about it. I just felt like it was the right move. And actually, probably about 3 weeks or a month ago, I called Dana and let him know, or I texted him and he called me. So this thing has been, it's been coming down the pipe for a little while.
And what was that conversation like?
It was great. I think me and Dana have a pretty good relationship, and he said thank you. I thanked him for all the opportunities, and that was that. It's more so just the time, and a big piece of this is like the amount of time and energy that I am still willing to put into fighting at the highest levels. I think that is in some ways I'm compromising things in my life, in my personal life. So to train as a professional mixed martial artist at the highest level of the sport, that takes a lot. That takes a lot out of me, energetically, emotionally, just everything. And so I have less to give to the rest of my life. And at this point, I don't want to make that compromise anymore. Like I said, I had some personal stuff going on, dude. My fucking best friend just died.
Oh, man.
And like just last week. And so I've been dealing with that.
Wow.
And
I'm
so,
sorry.
yeah, a lot of shit going on. And yeah.
So I did look at your Instagram, and you wrote something about, and you wrote brother. I wasn't sure if it was your actual brother or someone that you were referring to as your brother. So could you tell us who that was?
Yeah. It's my friend, Tim, who was my best friend from like 5th grade.
Wow.
And Timmy was a huge MMA fan. We used to watch UFC VHS tapes that we got from Blockbuster at his house, like every weekend. The dude followed me all over the world, watched me fight. He was like my brother.
Wow. And just unexpectedly passed away?
Yeah, man, he got COVID.
Oh no. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man, it's a shitty thing. So, obviously, yeah, just had a lot going on in the last couple weeks, because he was in the hospital for a little while. But even before that, I don't know. As far as making a big post, I think maybe at some point I'll make a big post, but part of the retirement thing is also, I came on your show, dude. I have mad respect for you, and I've appreciated, working with you over the years. But I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of interviews because I don't really have to anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of part of the retirement thing too, is just, stepping away from the spotlight.
Without further ado, let us go to the Zoom machine and say hello to Ryan Kavanaugh, who is kind enough to join us with a cool background, a faded background, or what is that, a blurry background? How are you, Ryan?
I'm great, Ariel. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on. If you talk to Holyfield, what the world perceived happened didn't happen. If you talk to Holyfield, Vitor apparently stepped on his foot, which I haven't seen the footage yet, which made him trip, and that's why it looked like he fell. He swung really hard, which we all know he did, and that was the knockout swing. Had he connected with Vitor would probably still be in the hospital today, and missed, which put him into the ropes because he swung so hard. And Vitor came back aggressively, but Holyfield is notoriously a slow starter, meaning, as he says, his strategy is, let me get hit, let me feel how he punches, and then I'll come out with my returns. And if you look closely at that footage, he was blocking. He said he got hit once. If you ask Holyfield, he got one hit, and the rest of it he was blocking. And so the stoppage, in his opinion, was the problem, because he's like, I would have come back, and I knew what I was doing. Now, I can't. First of all, I know probably less about fighting than most people, so I can't opine on that 100%. But the reason I say time will tell is that we're gonna, hopefully, I think Holyfield will end up fighting someone again that's his, I guess not hopefully people see as better suited, whether it's Tyson or someone like that. And Vitor's going to fight again, and we're going to see what's going to happen. And I think, no matter what was going to happen here, we would have gotten shit. I mean, when we did the Jake Paul fight, the very first Jake Paul fight, before the fight, I don't remember, you probably know this better than I do, there was press writing how irresponsible we were because Jake Paul wasn't a pro athlete and Nate Robinson was, and was endangering Jake Paul. On Tuesday, after the fight, press came out saying how irresponsible we were because Jake Paul was a pro boxer and Nate Robinson was not. And, we were endangering Nate Robinson. So, look, we were not happy with a round one, what I'll call, they're calling it a knockout, stoppage, knockout, whatever you want. Certainly not what we wanted to see. Certainly not what the audience wanted to see. But I'm not sure yet if that's the end of this story has been written.
It feels uncomfortable, at least to me, to watch him fight anyone. Do you not have any concerns about that?
Yeah, I do. And I'm mixed right now. I think coming off of Tyson, it felt, we saw this amazing spectacle of a fight. Everybody looked great. It felt great. It was what we wanted to see. And I think we kind of expected something similar here. I'll tell you, having seen Holyfield and him being an idol of mine for so long and watching him train, he looked like, he's in better shape than I'm in. It doesn't say much, but he's in better shape than most people are in. And so he's always been a quiet guy. It's not like all of a sudden he's more quiet or talking slower. And he's strong and fast. We have a lot of training footage of him where he is hitting very hard. He's hitting very fast, and he's sparring against 22-year-olds. I'm saying sparring. I'm saying knocking out 22-year-olds, in 12-round matches time and time again. So I don't know. I'm just as mixed as you are right now because I went in thinking this was going to be, the odds were on Holyfield, the betting odds.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And when you look at him, I thought Vitor was getting knocked out for sure.
I feel like I've been his advocate, fighting the good fight on behalf of Leon Rocky Edwards, because he doesn't get the respect that he deserves, because he doesn't get the love that he deserves, that he doesn't get the attention that he deserves, that he doesn't get the opportunities that he deserves. And so I've been trying to get him on the show for the last few weeks, and there he is. The man, Rocky. Leon Edwards. How are you, Leon? Leon, I'm on the front lines taking bullets for you, my friend, fighting the good fight on your behalf, and I'm sick and tired of it, Leon.
Ariel, you know what's right, Ariel, man. Come on.
Leon, why aren't you fighting for the belt on November 6th? Why aren't you in the next UFC welterweight title fight? Unbeaten in your last 10 fights, Leon. Your last loss, 2015, to the current champion, Kamaru Usman, who at the time wasn't the champion. 10 in a row you have not lost. Why aren't you fighting for the belt next?
I could not answer that, Ariel, to be fair. Like you said, it's been what, 6 years since my last loss, Kobe got beat by the champion, went for Woodley. The fight ended by a injury, sat out for over a year, then got a title shot. Well, when I go and get 10 fights in a row, now he needs at least one more. He needs one more. Every time it's one more, and I think they're trying to get me beat, but I cannot lose there, and I will not lose. I truly believe that I will be the next world champion, and they're trying to hold me back from it, but it's coming. I truly believe it.
The title fight is happening on November 6th, Madison Square Garden, Usman Covington 2. If they offer you Masvidal, Leon Edwards, Jorge Masvidal on that card or around that card, are you taking it? Is the issue not the opponent, the fight, whatever? It's that correct me if I'm wrong, what they're saying is early 2022, and you don't want to wait all the way till then. So you'll take it if it's in November or so. You don't want to wait till 2022 to fight him. Is that accurate?
Exactly. Ariel, I'm calling man out for a long time. I know he won't take it. He talks all this shit on social media and play this tough guy on social media, but we all know he's not going to take it. He's coming off 2 back-to-back losses. He's trying to get another win in to try and get his name back where he was, but I truly believe that he won't take it. It's been 3 years now. He's chose to fight Ben Askren over me. You know what I mean? So that proves it enough that he's not willing to fight me. And I look forward to my title shot. I'll see what happens in November and go from there. So
why don't they give you that fight in November? To the best of your knowledge, did they ask him for that time frame? And
no, the fight. To be honest, the fight was never mentioned. The reason why I put that tweet out the other day was I think I woke up in the morning, I saw all over social media that George and Leon is getting talked about for early 2022.
Yeah,
I think
that might be
source,
might have been my
like,
fault. Yeah.
I was like, I don't fuck Errol.
I'm just telling you, this is what I heard. I'm just reporting what I heard. I think that the fighters need to come together. I think you guys need to have a collective voice. But I get that it's fighting and you're all out for your own careers. This, to me, is exhibit 9,651, while there will not be a collective voice anytime soon. This man got his title shot. I was the one who last summer said, you guys should fight for the number one contender spot, and everyone got all upset. Oh, how dare you suggest that the two top guys should fight for the number, and everyone got mad, and there was bannings, and all this freaking nonsense going on. And then he gets...
The reason why...
Go ahead.
And the reason why he got his title shot was because of the COVID with Woodley. I was meant to fight Woodley in London in March.
Yep.
And the only reason why he got a title shot was because you went and beat Woodley. So if it weren't for me, you wouldn't have got no title shot.
Well, and we'll take it a step further. It was supposed to be Jorge versus Kamaru in July. They couldn't come to terms with Jorge. Yeah. So then they made the Gilbert fight, and then he got COVID, unfortunately, and then they went back to Jorge on a week's notice, and then he got the title shot after that. And so my thing is, all right, he got the title shot. You got your opportunity. Why are you trying to take another man's opportunity away? Now he's going out and saying, you should fight me, you should fight me, you should fight me. A year ago, he wanted nothing to do with you. And my thing is like, great, everyone should fight, great. But like, man, you got your title shot. You got your chance. You got your opportunity to realize your dream. Why? Go bother someone else. And look, I have nothing to do with it. But like, it's like, why are you trying to take away this man's title shot, who has done it the right way, who has put his head down, who has put his hard hat on, who has been messed, like screwed up by the politics of the game, all that stuff. Leave him alone. Go fight Vicente Luque or someone like that. That's the part that really grinds my gears here. Like, there should be some kind of sort of like bond between the fighters. Yo, man, you just fought for the belt. Don't take another man's opportunity away. Don't take money off his table, food off of his plate when you just fought for the belt. That's what annoys me about this situation. And I'd love to get your opinion, your feelings on how you feel when you see the tweets.
This is why you're the best in the game, yeah. God. This is why you're the best in the game. You're honest, and this is what other people can't see. It's like, he's had his title shot. Master has two title shots. Now I've been there the last 6 years, grinding away, keep my head down, doing everything the company asks of me, and still, like you said, they're trying to fight against me and say I'm scared on social media. I don't want to fight them, but mate, you've had your title shot. I've done everything I needed to do. I've proven my case time and time again. 10 in a row. That's the most in the division. Obviously to the champion Usman. So if I don't deserve it, who does?
Defending UFC featherweight champion. He is headlining the pay-per-view on Saturday, UFC 266. He is in Las Vegas. We are getting a chance to see Alexander, the great Volkanovski, back finally against Brian Ortega. There he is, the one and only Alex. Look at that setup with the belt over there. What a pro this man is. Alex, how are you?
There we go. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, mate, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, nice shiny belt right there.
Now, this will probably be the toughest question that I ask you all interview. I did notice, Alex, we have shaved the dome. Why did we do that, Alex? You're hiding it from us right now. You just couldn't.
So no barber can't get a hold of any of the barbers or anything like that. So like I said, it was strict. The lockdown was very strict. So you couldn't go. We had to. Most people in Australia are shaving their own hair, or cutting their own hair and things like that. And I didn't want to try and cut my own hair and do fades and whatnot, because it would have been looking even worse. So I just thought, you know what? Let's just shave it off nice and easy. Don't have to worry. Don't have to shampoo it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to do your hair when you're doing your interviews and whatnot. So it's easy. It's definitely easy.
And here we are. Are you kind of tired of thinking about Brian Ortega? I would imagine at this point, like, you're just kind of tired of prepping for this guy. You actually want to actually fight him, right?
Oh, mate, yeah. There's obviously you got the two camps that I had to do for this bloke. And then, do an Ultimate Fighter with him as well.
That's
and,
right, yeah.
And now, obviously I want to put my hands on him as well. So, I just can't wait. I'm excited, mate. I'm honestly, even this whole fight week process, I didn't get to do that last time. So even me just having chats with you guys and being with the boys that are usually with us fight week and just doing all the fight week shenanigans, mate, I'm enjoying the process. I'm probably one of the fighters that does enjoy the process. It lets me know that, we're here, we've got a job to do. It's you know what I mean? That's why we're here. So it's good. So I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to get back in there and
not only that, I can't wait to punch Ortega in the face.
She's fighting in the co-main event on Saturday, and she came back. She could have told us all to take a hike, but she came back. There she is, Lauren Murphy. How are you? We can hear you now.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. Like, I'm about to get in a fist fight in my underwear in front of the whole world. Like, you probably should be a little bit nervous about that. If you're not, there's probably a couple screws loose. So, it's also, I feel like overwhelming gratitude. I feel so like happy. I'm very, very proud of myself. I don't know. I'm loving this. This is like something that many, many fighters dream about and they never, get to realize. And for me to see, like, we really, like, we bled and sweat and cried and grinded our way to the top. And for me, I just don't think there's any other way it could ever have been. Like, that's, how my life has kind of been. That's how my fight career has been. And I think that's how the fight's going to go Saturday night. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be hard. It's going to hurt. There's going to be a lot of challenges to overcome, but I believe in my ability to overcome those challenges.
Let's go back to the Zoom machine and say hello to one of my favorite people on the planet, Mr. Bam Bam Baklava himself, the Renaissance man, the author, the rapper, the chef, the musician, the host, the workout fiend, the jiu-jitsu practitioner. I mean, what else can I say about him? The Oakley spokesperson, the one and only Action Bronson. How are you, my friend?
I'm amazing, bro. How are you?
Can I ask you about Jake Paul? Are you a fan of the Jake Paul thing or not so much?
I'm not really a fan of anything. I just think that it's, I think it's dope. I think that it's cool that somebody that's out of nowhere just fucking started beating professional athletes up. It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's him. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know where he comes. It comes from YouTube, right? And like fucking
Disney
film and shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of great. It's kind of great. It's fucking shit up. People are asking me to do shows about fighting and shit like that in fight camps and celebrity fighting. He's doing it's the hottest fad around. It's making the most money. He unlocked the key. Mm-hmm. He unlocked something. I've been fluctuating in weight my entire life, but this is the first time I'm sticking with it. This has to be forever.
The highest was what? Highest weight?
380. Bro, that fucking picture you put up today was mortifying. I can't believe that I was like having sex and like doing dance moves and performing for an hour. I was smoking so much. Bro, you were with me. I can't even believe I was able to walk a couple of blocks. I was massive. You had to fucking roll me down the hill.
No, man. You were great. We actually have some before pictures for those that may not be familiar.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You don't realize my whole career I'm fat.
That's.
I look back on everything. I did everything huge, which is ill.
Yeah, I mean, look at you there.
That's amazing.
That picture that you're talking about that I retweeted today, that was November of 2019. So not that long ago, like less than 2 years ago. And how much do you weigh now?
I'm like 248.
Do you think you could get lower, or do you want to get lower?
I don't know. I mean, of course I could, but I like where I'm at right now. I feel good with the things that I do. I feel strong. I just feel strong, and I'm sure obviously there's things to be done, but I'm not drastically trying to go at it right now. I'm drastically training for everything in life. I train like I'm some sort of like I have something to look forward to. A fight, the water, this, that. I don't know. I train for life.
The godfather of ground and pound. You talk about legends. This man is a living legend. And I've been on this crusade as of late to educate you jabrones about the history of the sport, about the founding fathers of this sport, about the people who built this sport before it was cool to be an MMA fighter, before it was cool to be in the UFC, before it was cool to watch the UFC. These are the men that made this sport what it is today, and we must honor them. We must celebrate them. We must remember them. One of those people at the very top of the list is in Las Vegas right now for a whole host of reasons. He joins us now via the magic of Zoom. He is the one and only Mark Coleman. There he is. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Never been better.
You say that you found peace these days, Mark. Are you referring to your sobriety?
Yes, I am.
How many days?
155 days today, and I've never felt better in my life. I had 5 months ago today, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do the induction. I really hit rock bottom. I mean, you can always go a little lower, but I'm going to call this my rock bottom. I'm never going back there again. And thank God I had my good friend Wes Sims, who came and basically he shoved me into the rehab center in Columbus, Ohio. Seacrest Rehab Center, and it's probably the best choice. Not probably, it is the best choice I've ever made in my life to go there and seek help, because I realized you can't do it alone. I needed help, and all of us need help. We're all in this together, and there's a lot of us out there, and I'm gonna my door's open for anybody that wants help, because I see what it did for me. It's changed my life for the better. And I'm really just so happy these days.
Yes, last year, the great writer John Wertheim of Sports Illustrated wrote just an absolutely eye-opening piece, a very revealing piece about this Oklahoma State sex scandal.
Ohio State, brother.
Oh, gosh. Ohio State. I'm thinking of Daniel
No, don't
Cormier.
get those mixed up.
Yes, of course. Ohio State. My apologies. My sincerest apologies.
It's all right.
We were just talking about D.C. With action, so I was thinking of OSU. Ohio State. And I have to be honest with you, Mark, I didn't know any of this. And I even feel till this day, correct me if you feel otherwise, I feel like this doesn't get the same kind of attention as other. I'm not trying to diminish any other scandal or any other case, but I was one stat that it's about a doctor named Dr. Richard Strauss, who was a very prominent figure at the school for many years, I believe like 3 decades. One stat that jumped out at me from the piece, I'm taking this from the piece, according to a report commissioned by Ohio State, before he was done, Richard Strauss committed at least 1,429 instances of fondling and 47 instances of rape. I mean, that is just astounding. And my understanding is that you were victimized by him as well, correct?
Yeah, yes, I was. At first, me and Mike DeSabato, we were the ones that came out and blew the whistle on the whole thing, because I had been watching the Larry Nassar gymnastics sexual harassment lawsuit, and I just kind of started thinking about what happened to us 20 years earlier, and we joked about it mainly. We joked about it because we just didn't think it was possible for a man on male athlete situation. We just didn't think that was possible, but then now we realize it is possible, and it did happen. And we took a lot of abuse, man. We took a lot of heat. I took a lot of heat for coming out and saying this. Everybody thought for sure we was just trying for a damn money grab. How could this happen to a big ass Mark Coleman? How can this happen? Well, it did, and I wanted to be a national champion. That's all I knew, and I didn't even know how to stir shit up. And we're dealing with Ohio State University. We're talking about the biggest business. One of the biggest businesses in America, and they're doing a hell of a job of just covering it up. But it's getting some attention. We need more attention to it. Right now, we just found out that the judge presiding over this, hell, who knows? His wife works for Ohio State, and he didn't disclose none of this. So right now, it's in the judge's hands. He may have to step down, and we have to start over all again. I just really want it to be over with. But I'm glad I found peace, because it's been a long time.
Why do you feel like this isn't being talked about as much?
Well, it's man on man. It's not a man on a woman. So man on man, people don't think it can happen. Look at Michigan State, look at Penn State. They're in the middle of big lawsuits. This happens all over the place. People just don't realize it. And now it's finally coming to a head, coming to attention. And then again, we're dealing with Ohio State University, the Ohio State University, a very big university. And they want this thing just to be ended and cover up, but they're not doing. They've admitted that they were wrong. Ohio State has admitted that they're wrong, but they're really not stepping up to the plate and taking care of it.
I say let's go back to the Zoom machine and say hello to one of the best light heavyweights on the planet. Joining us from Vienna, the one and only ALEKSANDAR RAKIČ. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm doing good. I see if the UFC wants that fight and if we're going to fight, I see Anthony as a new opponent and I'm not going to underestimate him. For me, it's a new opponent, but I already felt him. So I am motivated 24/7, 365 days in a year. So whoever they're going to put in front of me. Of course, Yuri would be the best option for me because after I beat his ass, I'm going to go get for the title. But if it's not Yuri, if the UFC wants Smith, I never have problems with motivation and to get back to the gym and train, you know. Like I said, in the off season, I work in my ass sometimes even harder than in the camps. So, yeah, my goal is to get to improve and to get better and to put, you know, the outcome of the fight to be even better. And in the first fight with Smith, I made one mistake. I didn't finish him. So if there happen the fights, I'm going to finish him.
He is a legend from the world of boxing, former CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, helped make Golden Boy Promotions into what it is today. And earlier this week, we found out that he is the new president of the new boxing promotion and media company called Probellum. He is also tied to the world of MMA these days as well. He is a man, if you know anything about boxing, in the last 20 plus years, you definitely know who Richard Schaefer is, and it's an absolute honor to have him on the program for the very first time. Richard, how are you, my friend?
Very well. How are you? It's an honor to be on your show and a big fan of yours, and I really like what you stand for. John and Dana, they went at it a bit. There were some, I wouldn't say Twitter wars, but there were certainly some heated arguments going back and forth. And I, as I said, I like Dana. We get along well, and he respects me for what I've done and my business acumen. And so he said some very nice things on air as well on different platforms. And I told John, I said, look, what we need to do is we need to really not that the relationship was broken, but we need to sort of like reset the relationship and not get involved anymore with, and I always tell that to my athletes, don't get involved in these public Twitter wars because it's not, in the end, it's just going to, people dig in their heels. And if we want to get big fights done, the only way you get big fights done, you negotiate behind closed doors. And I know the media guys are calling and they want to know every step of those negotiations, but seal your lips and let's get a fight done. And I explained that to John and he totally agreed. And you've seen that there's no more Twitter wars. The relationship with UFC and with Dana is now a relationship of mutual respect.
Enjoy UFC 266. Enjoy all the fights. Back next week, same time and place. Until then, I say peace. I'm out of here.